Been there, right? That feeling when you're planning a family trip, the excitement's high, but then suddenly you're drowning in like a sea of articles, reviews, maybe your own scribbled notes.
Oh, yeah.
And it all boils down to, how do you actually cut through that noise? How do you book the perfect family tour activity without, getting totally overwhelmed?
It's a real challenge.
So today, that's what we're doing. We're going to be your guides through that jungle. We're taking a deep dive into the 3 big players for booking family tours. Get Your Guide, Viator, and Klook will break down their strengths, their weaknesses, specifically thinking about you and your family. And then we'll take all those insights and apply them to a real place, a stunning place. The Uzud Waterfalls in Morocco. We'll look at getting there, what it's actually like, and crucially, how to avoid those little travel traps for a smooth trip.
Exactly. It really is all about making informed choices, isn't it? Understanding these big booking sites, but also the local quirks, like what you find at Uzud. Well, that's your shortcut. It gives you the power to choose what genuinely fits your family's style instead of just, crossing your fingers and hoping it works out. We'll connect those dots.
Perfect. So let's jump in. We're calling this the Ultimate Family Tour Booking Site Showdown. Now, our sources agree all 3 platforms are legit. They offer quality tours, but they do things differently. They have distinct personalities.
Like 3 different friends, maybe. Each great, but for different situations.
Exactly. So let's start with Get Your Guide. Okay, so this is a German company founded back in 2009. And their whole thing seems to be quality over quantity.
Right.
What that means is they actually handpick experiences, they quality check them, often using verified local guides, so you're not just scrolling through endless lists. They've kind of curated it for you.
Yeah.
People really praise their website, super user-friendly, and they're known for having strong options, particularly in Europe.
And, I think that focus on curated experiences hits a major pain point for parents. Time. Or lack of it.
Totally.
When you're juggling everything, having a platform that's already filtered for quality, that saves you hours you'd otherwise spend reading reviews yourself, that kind of built-in reliability, it's invaluable.
Good point. Then there's Viator. Now, they're owned by TripAdvisor since 2014, and their strength is just volume.
Yeah.
Sheer volume.
Massive.
We're talking a huge database.
Oh.
300,000 options around the globe. So if Get Your Guide is curation, Viator is, it's breadth, a massive catalog.
The key thing there, I think, is that because the selection is so vast, the responsibility shifts more to you, the traveler. You really have to do your homework, sit through those reviews, read the descriptions carefully.
Right.
It's a different approach. If you enjoy the digging, you might find amazing stuff. But for a busy parent, it could definitely feel overwhelming. It's harder to quickly spot the truly family-friendly stuff without putting in the effort.
Makes sense. Okay, and number 3, Klook. This one's based in Hong Kong. Started in 2014. They really began by focusing on Asia Pacific, and they still dominate there, but they're expanding globally pretty fast. They're often known for being, cheaper, good last-minute deals, useful ticket bundles, that sort of thing.
Klook's focus on budget friendliness and really seamless digital ticketing, especially strong in Asia, it taps right into how people travel now, right? On the go. For families looking for value and convenience, especially in that part of the world, they offer a really compelling package. And their app experience, well, we'll get to that, but it's fantastic.
Okay, so 3 heavyweights. But how do they actually perform when you're looking specifically for family travel? Let's break down some common planning headaches. First up, finding kid-friendly options quickly. Clear navigation, good filters. You got toddlers. You need to know if a tour is stroller friendly or there's an age minimum, like right now.
Yeah, this is where Get Your Guide really pulls ahead, I think. Their platform seems built for this. They have age filters. You can sort by duration. They have those kid-friendly tags. And it's all in a really clean, easy-to-use interface. It's like they anticipate that parents are short on time and need info fast. You can filter out the non-starters pretty quickly.
Exactly. Now, Klook also has family-friendly labels, duration filters, and you can see group sizes, which helps.
Yeah.
But Viator, despite having so many tours, it can be a real struggle here.
Yeah, the filters are more limited.
Right. No specific kid tags. You often find yourself having to really dig into the descriptions and reviews to figure out if something's actually suitable. So just for ease of use, for finding family stuff fast, Get Your Guide wins this round.
Agreed.
Okay, next up, support, refunds, and those inevitable last-minute changes. Because, let's be real, with kids, plans change isn't just possible, it's practically guaranteed.
Oh, absolutely. Flexibility is everything here. And Get Your Guide generally offers really flexible cancellation, often up to 24 hours before the tour starts. The process is usually straightforward, support seems responsive, so if your kid spikes a fever the night before, you're probably not losing all that money, which is huge.
Huge relief. And Klook's pretty good here too. Generally flexible, their in-app cancellation is apparently great, and refunds are processed quickly, especially in Asia. Viator, though. This is where they often get criticized. Stricter policies, sometimes slower support, refunds can be a bit unclear. It can turn a simple change into a real headache.
Yeah, not what you need when you're stressed already.
Exactly. So for making those plan changes less painful, it feels like a tie between Get Your Guide and Klook. They both seem to understand the need for flexibility.
Makes sense.
All right, let's talk money. Prices and hidden costs. Nobody likes surprise charges on vacation, especially when you're trying to stick to a family budget.
Right. Get Your Guide tends to be quite transparent. What you see is usually the final price, no sneaky booking fees, but they're often not the absolute cheapest option.
Okay.
Klook, on the other hand, frequently comes out cheaper, particularly in Asia. Their pricing is clear, and those bundles, like transport plus tickets, can save real money.
But with Viator, this is where you need your detective hat on.
Uh-huh. Watch out.
Yeah, sources consistently warn about things like entrance fees not being included or local taxes, maybe service fees popping up later. You think you've got a bargain, then bam, the actual cost is higher.
Classic hidden costs.
So for clear upfront pricing and just generally good value, especially in its key regions, Klook takes the win here. Fewer surprises.
Seems fair.
Okay, one more comparison. The app experience. Booking on the go, managing tickets. Your phone is basically mission control when traveling with kids.
It really is. In today's world, especially with kids, a smooth mobile experience is non-negotiable. Weather changes, kids get hungry, you make spontaneous plans. A good app keeps everything you need right there, no digging for printouts.
Totally. So Get Your Guide's app. It's top rated, easy to use, stores your tickets, directions, loads fast, pretty solid. Viator's app is fine. It works, gets the job done, but it's maybe less intuitive. Filters can be a bit hidden.
Functional, but maybe not delightful.
Yeah, exactly. But Klook's app, especially in Asia, it gets rave reviews. People call it like a mini travel assistant.
Oh.
Shows maps, holds your vouchers, QR codes. You can add stuff to your calendar. It even translates tickets sometimes if you rely heavily on your phone. Klook's app experience seems outstanding. Winner, Klook.
That's impressive, like a little pocket concierge.
Right. So we've done the head-to-head. Now let's look at where each platform really excels geographically, based on what families are saying. Get Your Guide. Families love the ease of use, that stroller accessible tag we mentioned, and the customer service, especially for things like having to cancel because of sickness. People say it might be a bit pricier, but often add, it's worth it for peace of mind. Get Your Guide is considered the best bet for Europe. Makes sense, it's German-based, strong network, and also really good for Australia and New Zealand. Thinking Harry Potter tour in Edinburgh. Wildlife Park in Sydney. Get Your Guide is probably your go-to.
It definitely reinforces that idea, doesn't it? That sometimes paying a little extra for a smoother experience and reliable support is a smart investment when you're juggling family travel complexities.
Totally. Now, Viator gets praised for its great selection, especially for multi-day trips. It's often the main player for North America, just huge listings in the US and Canada, plus that TripAdvisor trust factor. It's also strong in South America, good coverage in Peru, Brazil, Argentina, and Africa, with a big inventory for safaris, pyramid tours, Nile cruises, that kind of thing. But again, just keep an eye on those potential hidden costs and cancellation snags.
So for regions where having a massive range of options is the main thing, like the diverse stuff across the Americas or all the safari choices in Africa, Viator's volume is a real plus, even if it means you, the traveler, need to vet things more carefully.
Exactly. And Klook, as we've said, families love it for being cheap and fast. The bundles, that amazing app, it absolutely crushes it in Asia. Japan, South Korea, Thailand, Singapore, Hong Kong.
Yeah, powerhouse there.
Right. Temple Run in Angkor Wat, cooking class in Hanoi, theme parks in Tokyo. Klook is almost certainly your best bet.
So the big takeaway here is really clear, isn't it? The best platform. It honestly depends on where you're going and what your family prioritizes. There's no single right answer. It's about picking the right tool for the job.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. Let's actually apply these insights. Let's imagine your family heading to the Ouzoud waterfalls in Morocco.
Great example.
So picture this. You're in the Middle Atlas Mountains, about 150 kilometers northeast of Marrakech. And there they are. The Uzud waterfalls, people describe them as breathtaking, majestic, the tallest in North Africa. The highest drop is around 110 meters. It's like, 330 feet? Taller than a 30-story building. It's not just one drop, it's multi-level cascades crashing into these amazing emerald green pools.
Sounds incredible.
Yeah. And you often get rainbows in the mist. It's apparently the second tallest waterfall in all of Africa, a really beautiful, serene escape from the city buzz.
It definitely sounds like a fantastic natural wonder, a perfect contrast to Marrakech, especially for families wanting something a bit adventurous and, really picturesque. But it's worth remembering, precisely because it's so beautiful, it is popular, it can get crowded, especially in high season. So thinking about how you want to experience it becomes pretty important.
Good point. So how do you get there from Marrakech? You've got choices, each with pros and cons. And this is where thinking about those booking platforms might come in handy too. Option 1. Private taxi. This will set you back around 1,200 to 1,500 Moroccan dirhams, so roughly $120 to $150 for the round trip. It's definitely convenient, super flexible. You set the schedule. Maybe ideal if you have little kids needing naps.
Total control.
Option 2. Organized tours. These are much cheaper per person, maybe 200 to 500 dirhams, so $20 to $50 each. And they usually include round-trip transport, maybe an air-conditioned minivan, hotel pickup drop-off, a driver, and often they say live guide in Uzud and a boat trip are included. Some might include lunch. Others say it's extra, maybe 10, 13. The whole thing's usually 9, 12 hours with about 3 hours driving each way.
Okay, so convenience handled.
Right, logistics sorted. But this is where you need to think about our platform discussion. Remember, get your guide's transparency versus Viator's potential hidden costs. If you book an Uzud tour on, say, Viator, you'd really want to double-check those inclusions. Is the local guide fee really included? Is the boat trip? Lunch? Get your guide with its vetted partners might give you clearer info up front, potentially saving you hassle later.
That makes sense. Checking the fine print is key.
And speaking of hassle,
Yeah.
huge warning here, a scam alert flagged in our research. There's apparently a common fake tour guide scam at Uzud.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Guests on organized tours might get dropped off, like far from the actual entrance. Then a local guide approaches, insists you need them, says it's impossible to visit independently, and then hits you up for extra money at the end, maybe 30 dirhams, 3 to 7 euros per person. Even if your tour said a guide was included. Apparently, sometimes the drivers might even be in on it.
Yeah.
Or they steer you to specific restaurants for kickbacks.
Wow. That's a classic bait and switch. And it perfectly shows why explicitly confirming tour inclusions beforehand is so vital. Maybe booking through Get Your Guide or Klook with their focus on clear pricing and support offers a bit more protection. Also important.
Huh?
Despite what these fake guides might say, you absolutely can explore Uzud independently. The paths are generally well marked.
Good to know. Okay, option 3, public transport. This is your budget route, but takes more effort. You can bus from Marrakech's Bab Dukala station to a town called Azel, then get a minibus to Uzud, total cost, maybe 60 dirhams, like $6. Or you could do shared grand taxis. One from Bab Dukala to Azul is about 50 dirhams per person, assuming it fills up with 6 people. Then another shared taxi from Azul to Uzud for about 25 dirhams, so maybe 100 dirhams total, a few dollars.
Very affordable.
Super cheap. And a tip. You can pay for empty taxi seats to leave sooner. The upside is cost and authentic local vibe. Downside, it can be time-consuming waiting for things to fill up. Takes a large chunk of your day. Maybe not great with restless kids.
Trade-offs. Always trade-off.
Always. And finally, option 4, rental car. It's about a 2.5-hour drive, 157 kilometers from Marrakech. This gives you total freedom. Stop when you want, go at your own pace, avoid the tour group schedule. Great for families. Parking's cheap, like 10, 20 dirhams. Just one caution. Drive carefully. Kids apparently play and sell things roadside and can sometimes dart out unexpectedly.
Right. So if avoiding that potential guide scam is top priority or you just value autonomy, then public transport or renting a car are definitely solid, affordable options. You don't need a guide for Uzud.
Okay, so you figured out how to get there. What do you actually do at Uzud? What's the experience
Well,
like?
just the fun part.
Exactly. Well, plenty. You can go hiking. There are well-marked trails winding through lovely olive groves. Apparently, Uzud means olives in the Berber language.
Ah, interesting.
The paths are mostly easy, but can be rocky and uneven. And definitely be careful. Near cliff edges, they're high, and railings aren't always there.
Good safety tip.
You can also go for a swim. Those clear pools at the bottom sound amazing, especially in summer. And for a real thrill, take a traditional wooden raft boat ride. It goes right up close to the Thundering Falls, costs about 20 dirhams, $2. Just expect to get wet.
That sounds fun. Bit of spray.
Definitely. Wildlife lovers, keep an eye out for the Barbary macaques. Wild monkeys hanging around the falls. They're apparently quite playful. Just admire from a distance. Don't feed them. Keep them wild.
The standard wildlife etiquette.
Right. And food. There are affordable local places right by the river. Tagines, fresh bread, mint tea. Typical cost 40-60 dirhams, so $4.06. And you get great views while you eat. Oh, and photography. Remember those rainbows? There's apparently a specific viewpoint next to a huge hotel overlooking the waterfalls. It gives those epic shots.
It sounds like a fantastic mix, really. Raw nature, swimming, boat ride, wildlife, local food. Those are the kinds of things that create really strong family memories, those aha moments.
Yeah, totally agree. Okay, let's wrap up our Uzu deep dive with some practical tips and a final reminder on avoiding those scams. Best time to visit. Really, year-round works. It's much busier during summer, but that's prime swimming time. Winter has more water flowing and fewer crowds. General advice, go as early as possible to beat the rush.
Early bird gets the waterfall view.
Exactly. Good news, no entrance fee for the falls themselves. Always nice.
Free is good.
What to wear and pack? Comfortable, light clothing, maybe a light jacket for temperature changes. Definitely robust closed-toe shoes. Those paths are rocky. Swimwear if you plan to dip. Sun protection is key. Hat, sunglasses, sunblock, and a backpack for water and snacks.
Sensible mountain gear.
Language. Lots of people in tourism speak English, but knowing a few Moroccan Arabic phrases is always appreciated, might even help you connect better. And finally, that scam avoidance summary. Remember the fake guide thing. If you are on a tour, maybe booked via a platform like Viator, where inclusions can be less clear, confirm guide fees are included, don't feel pressure to pay extra on the spot. If you're independent, remember, a guide is absolutely not needed. Paths are clear. Also, watch out for restaurants with hidden prices or different menus. Know your options, be firm. If you feel scammed, maybe just pay what seems fair and move on. Forewarned is forearmed.
Absolutely. Knowing about these potential issues beforehand takes away their power. You can anticipate, verify, and just focus on enjoying the amazing scenery and making memories, not dealing with unexpected hassles.
Right. So let's bring it all together. What does this mean for your next family adventure planning session? Think of this as your quick cheat sheet for those booking sites. Use Get Your Guide when you want reliability, great family filters, ease of use especially strong in Europe and AUSNZ. Pick Viator for the sheer massive variety, backed by TripAdvisor reviews, great for the Americas and Africa, but double-check those inclusions. And go for Klook for budget travel, especially in Asia, and for that brilliant app.
Clear guidelines.
And applying that to Azoud. You now know the pros and cons of a structured tour versus public transport versus a rental car. You can weigh convenience against cost and autonomy. And crucially, you see how your platform choice might help you dodge or stumble into those common travel hiccups. Hopefully, navigating the world with kids just got a little bit easier.
And maybe one last thought to leave you with. When you're standing there looking at the Uzoud waterfalls, are you just admiring a pretty view, or are you truly experiencing it? And does that experience feel deeper, maybe more meaningful, when it's perfectly arranged for convenience, or when it's bravely figured out through independent travel, or maybe found in that thoughtful balance between the two? Something to think about how your planning choices shape not just the trip, but the memories themselves.